Continuing on an upward trend in the country. And we will tell you all about a popular Christmas tradition in the Bahamas. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, COVID cases continuing on an upward trend in the country as health officials await confirmation on whether or not the Omicron variant is present in the country. 159 new cases reported yesterday. Tonight, the Minister of Health gives an update on the way forward in the fight against this global pandemic. Megan Shepard has details.
While the world continues to monitor the spread of the COVID-19 virus and the latest Omicron variant, the Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, telling media personnel that over 200 samples have been sent to a diagnostic lab in Panama.
Those samples are being assessed for gene sequencing to determine whether the Omicron virus is in country. But I want to say this very clearly. After reviewing the data for the last 3 days and the infectivity as well as the rate of transmission, we are convinced without the gene sequencing that the Omicron virus is more than likely in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Minister Darville adding that 300,000 doses of the vaccine have been administered thus far, including 8,734 booster shots.
There was 154,804 fully vaccinated persons in the Bahamas. 11,038 of these persons were between the ages of 12 and 17. Those of the 154,804 persons translate into 48% of the eligible population being vaccinated. With that being said, we are now beginning to improve the rate of vaccination throughout the country. And over the next few days, we will be adding additional centers to begin to bring those individuals to the forefront to receive their booster shot, first or second jab.
As protocols continue to change, he is encouraging Bahamians to do their part to protect lives and livelihoods.
The way out to ensure that our economy continues to rebound is to get vaccinated and to be responsible and to protect yourselves and the general public by executing the appropriate protocols. We believe that the Bahamian people partnered with us up to this point, and I am confident that once the control mechanism is in place for large gatherings, as outlined by the Minister of National Security, I believe that we can find the equilibrium necessary to allow our economy to continue to grow while protecting the lives and livelihoods of Bahamians throughout our archipelago.
He also provided this update as it relates to the rollout of free COVID testing.
We are finally at the request for proposal stages. Free testing without contact tracing and without a digital platform is like bread without butter. We are now in the final stages of awarding a contract for the digital platform that will be able to man our free testing ability throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Free testing is associated with rapid antigen tests, and there are instances where the rapid antigen test is not adequate, and those protocols are when the rapid antigen, the PCR test will be implemented, will be clearly outlined.
Megan Shepard, SEDNS Network News.
The latest COVID-19 dashboard still in the triple digits. 159 new cases reported in the latest Ministry of Health dashboard on Thursday, December 23rd. 150 in New Providence, 2 in Grand Bahama, 3 in Exuma, 1 in Abaco, 1 in Eleuthera, and 2 locations pending. 42 of those cases have a history of travel within 14 days. There are 19 persons hospitalized, 6 of which are in Grand Bahama. The death toll stands at 713, and 38 are under investigation. Meanwhile, hundreds of meals distributed to families ahead of Christmas Day, courtesy of Order of the Eastern Star Grand Bahama District. Worthy matron of Ada Chapter 11, Simone Brown, says it was their goal to give back to a community in Grand Bahama, and they thought it fitting to distribute food packages to the Pinders Point community.
As everyone knows, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many of the disenfranchised communities of Grand Bahama were hit extremely hard. And it's during holidays such as Christmas that some of these communities feel it the worst. We had the pleasure of receiving a donation of turkeys from the Grand Bahama Port Authority a few weeks ago, which we greatly appreciated, and we partnered with House of Hope Mission to create this program to prepare these meals, and we're going on foot to deliver them to this community of Pinders Point.
Senior pastor of House of Hope Mission Center, Pastor Maxwell Pinder, says they're pleased to be able to partner with Order of the Eastern Star on the feeding initiative.
It's very important because for so long we have been, I say, like neglected. It's like we always see things happening, things happening around us, up in the Freeport area, the east and the western, but never in our area. There was no hand reaching out to this, and they were feeling kind of just rejected, But this right now, this initiative here, it lifts the spirit. It caused them to know that, hey, we are still here. Somebody cares. Somebody notices us, and people are taking notice, and they're happy.
Relatives and close friends of the late Dr. Susan J. Wallace are preparing to celebrate her life and legacy at a service of Thanksgiving at Jubilee Cathedral next Wednesday, December 29th. Tonight, she's being remembered as a counselor extraordinaire, a teacher, a mother who believed in the Institute of Family and Marriage, a leader and pioneer. Ramiko Knowles reports.
One word: unforgettable. Unforgettable.
Dr. Susan J. Wallace was no ordinary woman. Her son-in-law, Raul Ambrister, says her life story reads as one who created pathways for many, also as one who taught and trained individuals to maximize their potential on earth so they can be the best gift to the world given by God. He says from the day he asked for her daughter's hand in marriage, she has been a mother to him.
I think there is a place on earth that no one or nothing can refill or replace. Susan Wallace was a treasure. And treasures are usually hidden. So we will recognize how great she was by her absence as much as we did while she was here with us and able to contribute physically, spiritually, theologically, poetically, in so many different ways. But there's no replacing her at all.
Now that she is no longer here, he vows that her legacy will live on through him.
My life is a reflection of her influence in many ways. Keeping her legacy alive is simple. When I speak, I say some of the things that she said. When I minister in the way that she taught. When I teach using some of the systems and practical tools that she gave me. So my life literally is a reflection and a memory of Dr. Susan Wallace.
Recalling the first time he saw Dr. Wallace, pastor of Just You Run Ministries, Sheffel Hepburn, describes her as a powerful woman of God.
The first time I saw her was at Holy Trinity, the first service that I went to. And I saw a woman minister with the power of the Holy Spirit like I had never seen before. And then a Bahamian woman, and I was drawn to her. She ministered with genuineness, no self, just moving according to the Spirit of the Lord, and I was very moved by that.
He says it marked the beginning of his Christian walk. He adds that he will miss her dearly.
She was bold. And I learned to be bolder in ministry as a result of my association with her. And she was fearless. The counsel, the clear-headed advice and instruction, able to witness the Holy Spirit work in a woman, work in a Bahamian woman, and to be able to learn from, the wonderful storehouse of knowledge that God has given her.
He says everything he has learned from Dr. Wallace, he will continue to teach others.
Most importantly, to continue to minister to the lost, those that need comfort, need the blessings of the Almighty God, need to know that there is hope for the challenges and the difficulties that they have in life that cause us to feel despairing and hopeless. To be able to share with them the things that I learned from her about this wonderful hope that we have in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, who died to set us free from every type of bondage.
Dr. Susan J. Wallace was born on May 31st, 1931, and she died on December 16th, 2021, at the age of 90. Rumiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. We'll be back right after this break.
This and every holiday season, everybody heads to Dolly Madison, even Santa. Gifts, gifts, gifts for everyone. Dolly Madison is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
Come on down now.
It's all going down this Friday, December 24th in the front parking lot as No Holds Bar and Lounge brings to you Rake and Scrape Reloaded with Red Alert Band. So bring something to wave with guest appearance by Terry Ann and Fran Sean. Hosted by Daddy Steely. Sanitation Services advises that garbage that is scheduled to be picked up on Saturday, December 25th will be picked up on Friday, December 24th. Additionally, garbage removal scheduled for New Year's Day will be picked up on Friday, December 31st. Happy holidays.
Look at that, boy. I see it, boy. Let's go, let's go. Hold on, boy. Let me get the window, Boy, hurry up, boy. Open it. Boy, let's go, boy. Let's slide out, boy. Let's go. Come on, I following you. Oh, that's sick, boy. That's the man, boy.
During this holiday season, when you would have purchased your gifts, household appliances, and valuables, do not leave these boxes in front of your yard. Ensure that when you leave your residence, that the windows are not open and the doors unlocked. Please ensure that you secure your premises. Do not become a victim of crime.
This message is brought to you by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, creating safer communities. Holidays from the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Tonight we wrap up our Christmas tradition series, and this one is definitely popular in the Bahamas. Megan Shepard has details.
When it comes to Christmas traditions, there are some that are celebrated globally, and there are some that are uniquely Bahamian. And one of those Bahamian traditions is the redecorating of our homes during the Christmas season. Store manager at Kelly's, Ron Darville Jr. says that sales this year have been going really well. A fact he says is good news for the local economy.
We're happy to see the economy bouncing back. It's a telltale sign that persons are getting back to work. Hopefully, what we have to offer helps you to mend over the years what's been going on with Dorian and COVID.
And whether you are redecorating the interior or exterior of your home, he says that Kelly's is fully stocked to meet your needs.
Believe it or not, I guess where persons are still recovering from flooding and so on with Dorian and moving on with their lives, a lot of sheet sets and just the basic needs people are buying. They're buying decorative things also, but it's more about getting their homes back together. You still have quite a few persons in the community who still have, on the tail end of things, still need to get their homes together. So we're seeing a lot of sales in paint department where persons are, since putting the walls back in their homes, and the outside of your home gets damaged a lot also. So exterior and interior painting sales have been going well for the paint supplies, our paint sundries, and our paints are selling well.
Now, aside from holiday-related acts and pieces, Darville notes that persons are still adding the finishing touches to their homes post-Hurricane Dorian.
So another popular seller is window treatments such as blinds and curtains, curtain rods. We have a good variety of those things. We also have decorative clocks. We have nice storage has been a big thing also. Storage containers, believe it or not, they sell extremely well because, persons still trying to figure out how to sort through their items at home since Dorian. I know Dorian has been a while, but it's still affecting us. So, yes, so we still see a lot of sales with even such things as doorknobs and hinges and things like that. We've had sales. Sales has been good.
And of course, no Christmas celebration would be complete without a full dinner spread. Darville says Kelly's has got you covered there as well.
We have pots and pans of every shape and size to hold your ham and your turkey. So if you come down, we're sure we have something to supply for you. Our dinnerware sets, we have some lovely dinnerware sets, everything you need to get the table right for Christmas.
And wishing you a very Merry Christmas, I'm Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Youngsters are now the recipients of toys just in time for Christmas, courtesy of FTX Digital Markets. Vice President Valdez Russell says they are spreading holiday cheer by distributing thousands of toys throughout the island of Grand Bahama.
Community is at the core of everything that we do at FTX, and so we're pleased to provide a little Christmas cheer throughout the Bahamas. As FTX seeks to make the Bahamas our home, we've started with the process of distributing Christmas toys throughout the entire Commonwealth. As such, we're kicking off here in Grand Bahama. We'll distribute around 3,000 pieces of toys to individuals and organizations so that they add a little bit of Christmas cheer to individuals in need and kids at heart during this Christmas season.
He says the mass distribution would not be possible without the help of dedicated volunteers.
We've worked with a team of around 60 volunteers from high schools and also civic organizations throughout the island of Grand Bahama, and they have been incredible in the process of wrapping, labeling, and distributing thousands of gifts that we're going to distribute. And so we're very grateful to those individuals who volunteered their time and talents, and we thank them tremendously for helping us to make this initiative a success. We were pleased to work with local businesses here, specifically Bethel's bookstore. We were able to collaborate with Adrian Bethel, and he was instrumental in ordering thousands of toys that we're going to be distributing.
'Tis the season of giving, and the leader of the Free National Movement and Member of Parliament for Marco City, Michael Pintard, says that he and his team have been giving back to constituents for the past 5 years. He says the goal is to help families and put smiles on the faces of children.
I believe that it is a wonderful thing when we can put a smile on children's face. So we're doing a combination of vouchers for snacks, grocery, as well as toys for the kids. And those families that we miss, we're encouraging them to come to the office. We'll take care of them during the course of the week. This is a difficult time for many families, so any constituency as well as corporate citizen can contribute to raising the spirit of residents. That is what we should be about. And so we're happy to continue this tradition. We do things throughout the year, but we know during this time of the year it's extremely important.
Pintard adds that they plan to assist at least 800 families in the Marco City community. He says that so far, those that have received their gifts have been very appreciative.
They've demonstrated just enthusiasm. They're grateful, and you have an opportunity to catch up with some of the constituents you may not have seen recently. So all around, it is a good thing, and we'll continue, like I said, to contribute in one way or another.
She may be little in stature, but she definitely has a big heart, especially when it comes to the precious pearls of the community. 11-year-old Jana Swain says that the cold weather during the Christmas season always reminds her of her late grandmother that she affectionately called Mama. She says her mama passed away some 5 years ago, but she is keeping her memory alive through a special blanket donation to a local home for the aged.
She would visit at Christmas. She often would say how cold she was, and I was her little helper to ensure that she stayed warm. Today, I don't have a grandma, but there are many other grandmas in this society who needs to be warmed, especially at Christmas. So I decided it would be best to show them how much we love them by giving out blankets to help keep them warm for this Christmas. For this is the spirit of Christmas. Jesus, the Christ child, born in a manger, giving and sharing. So I would like to say a great big thank you to all who supported me in this effort.
Owner of Home Away from Home for the Aged, Murphy Knowles, says that this donation warmed her heart, adding that all of the residents at the home are very grateful for the blankets.
This awesome 11-year-old came here to offer her kindness and giving them a blanket and hearing a story about how her grandma died at the age of 6. And there are other grandmas out there who would love to be warm on this, especially this cold season. I think, God will bless her little heart, and give her heart desire as she continues to grow. And it's such a blessing to have them enter our space and enter our home to bring this love of kindness here. In Jesus' name.
And now it is time for a check on sports with Romiko Knowles.
Merry Christmas Eve and welcome to sports. I'm Romiko Knowles. We are the champions. The Bahamas Association of Athletic Associations, in conjunction with the GB3As, hosting an appreciation dinner for the athletes who represented the Bahamas at the NACAC Age Group Championships in Nicaragua. The special luncheon taking place at Pier 1 Restaurant.
We are here tonight to just appreciate our athletes that came home and our head coach and manager that traveled the team, Ms. Clarita Gardner Hall.
Team Bahamas accumulated a total of 26,787 points to win the overall title over 7 other countries at the NACAC Age Group Championships. Host country Nicaragua finished with 25,125 points. Costa Rica finished third with 25,097 points. First Vice President of the B3As, Rayvano Ferguson, says it's a dinner fit for champions.
So we had done the 13 girls competing in 5 events, and the under 15 girls competing in 6. So they had 2 long days competing in various events. And it shows the talent and work ethic that these kids have to put in that type of effort to excel in this event.
3 athletes from Grand Bahama were a part of the 8-member team.
We had Cleasha Thomas placing first in her under 13 age group, and Phoebe Thompson placing 4th overall, as well as Kenny Moxley placing 3rd overall in its under 15 age group. So the Grand Bahama contingent did excellent, as well as the Bahamas doing very great in winning.
But he says the outcome was no surprise.
I think we went into, after trials, we went into Bangkok expecting Cleasha to do exceptionally well in her event, and she actually won the entire event. Actually, she was placed 3rd going into the last event, and she was able to come out top in the 800 and win the entire event. So if you're not familiar with the NACA age group champs, it's a multi-event.
On the college hardwood, Coach Yolette Maxey McEwen and the Ole Miss Lady Rebels wrapped up the non-conference slate at the West Palm Beach Invitational with its toughest test to date against number 18 South Florida, and proved why it is one of the hottest teams in the country with a 61-53 victory. The triumph over USF is Ole Miss's first-ranked win against a non-conference opponent since 2007. The Rebels extend their winning streak to 12 games, the program's longest since 1991. Finally, in sports, heading into the NBA now, several games on tap for the Christmas holidays. DeAndre Ayton and the 26-5 Phoenix Suns will tip off against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors on Christmas Day. They are coming off a 113-101 win over Oklahoma City. Ayton scoring 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists to help the Suns in that victory. Buddy Hield and the Sacramento Kings will take on Memphis Grizzlies on Boxing Day. As for Kai Jones and the Charlotte Hornets, they will tip off against the Rockets on Monday, December 27th. And that is your Check on Sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Nico Knowles. Until next time, enjoy your holiday.
Register now for Roxy's Preschool, ages 2 and 3 years. Space is limited. Roxy's Preschool, located in Unit 5, Crosstown Plaza. Phone 602-0973.
When special occasions need to be remembered, visit Distinctive Gifts, where they offer unique items for all occasions. Number 2, Rachel's Britannia Mini Mall, Caravel Beach. Call 441-5322 or distinctivegiftforall@gmail.com.
On December 25th and December 26th, plan your Christmas Day dinner or Christmas Sunday brunch at Portobello's Restaurant in the Grand Lucayan Hotel. For more information, call 350-5000. Happy holidays.
All right. Yes, I just need a radio and a cloak.
Wait, it's on. Wait.
Be mindful that criminals are looking for a safe target. We would like to assist you in not becoming a victim of car theft. Do not leave your keys in the ignition of your vehicle unattended. Please ensure that your vehicle is properly locked and secured. In addition, do not park your vehicle in a poorly lit area.
This message is brought to you by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, creating safer communities.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
There's no reason to skip holiday traditions this year once you know the facts about COVID-19 vaccines. These vaccines are safe and effective at preventing severe illness, hospitalization, and death. They've been placed through rigorous clinical trials and are used in countries throughout the world. Data confirms that vaccines can also provide protection against variants of the virus, including the Delta strain. COVID-19 vaccines help to protect you by teaching your body how to fight the virus. Without the vaccine, you and your family may be at risk of serious lifelong complications from a COVID-19 infection. By being vaccinated, you can remove regret and fear that someone you love will be impacted or die from COVID-19.
Merry Christmas to you.
Persons wishing to be vaccinated should visit the website vax.gov.bs.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness also encourages persons to pay attention to announcements on when a pop-up vaccination center will be hosted near you. This message is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority. The Public Hospitals Authority, working together for best quality healthcare.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Cecily Munnings, you are our Facebook friends of the day. We appreciate your support. And this one goes out to our very own Lawanda Lippy Burrows, Poiter Burrows, who is celebrating her birthday today. And then we'd like to wish a special early happy birthday to our Denzel in Swain. He and one of our loyal viewers, Gail Pettikin, are celebrating tomorrow. We hope you all enjoy. That's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Mizik, wishing you a Merry Christmas. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, the husband of a former cabinet minister gunned down, a $25 million drug bust in Crooked Island, R.M. Bailey vendors with a Christmas pop-up, and DeAndre Ayton's son's winning streak continues. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC's Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle. Make Christmas sparkle. Sign up today.
Good evening, I'm Jiminita Swain. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in on this Christmas Eve. Police tonight still searching for the person or persons responsible for the country's latest killing. The husband of a former cabinet minister shot dead last night outside of the family's home in Winton Meadows. The incident sparking calls for an end to senseless violence on our streets. Fern Carey reports.
The fatal shooting of Leon Griffin, the husband of former Social Services Minister Melanie Griffin, sending shockwaves to the family, friends, and neighbors on Robert Street in Winton Meadows, where the incident unfolded. The slaying of the victim, who is in his 70s, taking place shortly before 8 o'clock Thursday night. Police press liaison officer ASP Audley Peters tells us what police discovered when they arrived at the scene.
They found an adult male slumped over in a vehicle. And as they examined the body, they found that the victim received gunshots to the head. EMS was summoned to the scene, and that male was subsequently pronounced lifeless. We're appealing to members of the public who may have any information in respect to this incident to contact the nearest police station at 502-9991 or 919.
It is unclear at this time what the motive was for the crime. However, ASP Peters says it appears to be an apparent robbery. Former cabinet minister Shane Gibson was among those at the scene.
Me and Melanie go way back. We were elected the first time together back in 2002, served in 2 cabinets, served 15 years in Parliament together. And just to watch her tonight and her daughter and her stepdaughters and look and see what they're going through, I mean, it's just heart-wrenching. Anytime something like this happens, it's just so sad. But just to see it happen like in this season, and it's supposed to be the festive season, everybody looking forward to Christmas in 2 days, and have something like this happen, it's just heart-wrenching.
Also at the scene, former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Perry Christie, and former parliamentarian Hope Strawn. She called for an end to the senseless violence on our streets.
This is a really, really rough situation for anybody to be going through. So many families have been going through it, It just leaves you to wonder, what's going on in the country and how we can find solutions to the amount of violence that's going on in the country. So many lives are being snuffed out. So many families are suffering, and through the loss of loved ones,
Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis QC was also among those expressing shock and sadness at the fatal shooting of his colleague and friend. In a statement last night, he offered condolences to Melanie Griffin, their children and the wider family, and asked for supporters and all citizens across the length and breadth of the country to pray for the repose of his soul and for Melanie Griffin and the family. The Prime Minister also pledged to use all the resources of the state to resolve this heinous crime. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
$25,080,000. That's the heaping street value of the Royal Bahamas Police Force's latest drug bust that saw to the seizure of an estimated 1,254 kilos of suspected cocaine. This comes after police on Crooked Island quashed a nighttime drug trafficking operation in its tracks, bringing in 2 suspects in the process. Police Press Liaison Officer Audley Peters says it was shortly before midnight on Wednesday when they heard the sound of a hovering aircraft near the airport in Colonel Hill.
The officers became suspicious, and as a result, the officers went to the airport. And on their arrival, they saw a plane parked on the runway, and as a result, they went to the plane and saw 2 males running from the plane and left the door open. They pursued those suspects and captured them and took them back to the plane. A search of this plane was conducted, and as a result, the officers found 44 black bags containing suspected cocaine.
Police have in their custody 2 Venezuelan nationals, a 29-year-old male and another man believed to be in his mid-60s. Investigators are still in the process of determining the flight's destination of origin, but for now, they're piecing together theories on how the smugglers attempted to sneak in.
Well, the Crooked Island Airport is not a 24-hour airport. Individuals have their skills, whether it be illegal and legal, in the world of aircraft. So perhaps those individuals would have used their skills knowing that our airport is not a 24-hour manned airport. And based on their skills, or persons who may have been on the island assisting them, may have placed markers at various points to guide them. And so all of that is not determined at the moment.
From the courts, the Court of Appeal has overturned the sentence of appellate Shakanya Thompson. Back in 2018, Thompson was charged with multiple counts of fraud-related offenses. After pleading guilty in a plea deal, she was ordered to compensate the National Insurance Board to the tune of some $179,000, with the understanding that she would make a lump sum payment of $10,000 on or before February 1st, 2019, and $1,000 per month afterwards. If she defaulted, she would spend 5 years in prison. Thompson eventually defaulted on her payments and a warrant of apprehension was issued for her. However, she applied to the Court of Appeal for an extension of time to appeal a conviction and sentence. The Court of Appeal then quashed her sentence and sent the matter back to the Magistrates Court for resentencing. On resentencing, however, the magistrate again imposed a sentence of 5 years, but Thompson appealed. The appellate court then overturned the sentence and substituted a sentence of 1 year instead, after finding that the 5-year prison term was much too harsh. Personal safety is something we all have to keep in mind, especially women, all times of the year. But it seems around Christmas time, some criminals get a little bold and attempt to snatch purses. Well, Dr. Kent Bazard, proprietor of Empire Fitness, dropped by the studio to share some basic tips to keep everyone safe. Take a look. We know that this time of the year, most times police officers or anyone tells us that we need to downgrade the size of our bag just for safety. But for some of us, sometimes we just say, hey, we just popping in to work, going into our cars. It's like a quick in and out kind of situation. But if we get into that situation where we find someone trying to snatch and grab, what is it that we should do? You talked about a simple push and pull maneuver. So give us a demonstration and let's see how that works. Bearing in mind, I'm not the criminal, but we'll see what happens.
So it's push base and pull base. So the root word is base, and the base means that you're establishing your footing on the ground. And that's that's really it. It's really simple.
So you want to have a firm footing if you can.
Exactly.
You'll be caught in motion.
Exactly. Now remember, the first rule is to survive the encounter. So if he gets the bag,
too crazy.
yeah. If he gets the bag, you know, this is a nice bag. You know, it's expensive, but I mean, you can replace the bag. Okay. But however, if he pulls on the bag, and like I say, for example, most of the time it can get caught up in your elbow, right in your elbow there, right? Most of the time it'll get caught up like that. So now I'm pulling.
Right.
So if you stand up straight for a second, stand up straight. So let's see why the lady fell the other week, right? Why did she fall?
Because the momentum.
Right. So she wasn't directing her force away from him. She kind of leaning towards him. So when he pulled,
yeah, he took her with her.
Right. That's why she fell.
Okay.
So you ever play tug of war? What kind of stance you take in tug of war? If I pull, what do you do?
Then I
see, there you go. Look at your feet.
Position of my footing.
That's it.
To ensure
That's
that
it.
I have balance.
So that's called pull base. So if I'm pulling, you don't have to use any energy. The idea is for you to use all of your legs.
Strengthen your legs.
Right, and the friction on the ground, some physics, to resist all this muscle and strength I have. Right? Now the bag is another factor, because the bag, this can break, this can pop, and all type of stuff can happen. But generally speaking, push base and pull base works, especially if I'm grabbing your hand and I'm trying to pull you.
Right.
Drop your weight and bend. Right. See? So you, without using any energy, right, or very little energy, are able to resist my pull.
On the island, travel not impacted by new health protocols, and a non-profit organization sprinkles a little Christmas magic. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZMS Network.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Holiday Extravaganza.
Last year, we couldn't celebrate Christmas as we wanted to. So for this year, we had everything planned. 100,000 watts of lights, 10-foot tall tree, best table ever, custom t-shirts, DJ, and we also had Uncle Billy, who forgot the KFC buckets in the car with the keys inside.
Step back.
With KFC Junkanoo Buckets, you can enjoy the holiday season this year no matter what. Savor this Christmas with Junkanoo Buckets, only at KFC Nassau.
Open up, this at the time of the year.
BTC spreading Christmas cheer.
To everybody, whether far or near.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long. This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me.
Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Health officials have adjusted protocols in response to a surge in COVID-19 cases. Family island travel and the protection of those vulnerable islands is one of the priorities of the new rules, which were to be published this week. Kishla Adderley tells us more.
A possible new wave of COVID-19 has come with some new health rules. Health officials telling reporters Thursday of the new protocols which were to be published by week's end in response to the surge in new cases, last pegged at 159. And protecting Family Island communities, which are for the most part COVID-free, tops the list of priorities.
We've learned through the many waves of COVID-19 that we need to protect all of our family islands. And so what you would see featured in the new rules is the provision for those islands that the ministry considers to be high burden islands, for persons traveling from those islands to produce a negative COVID-19 test, whether it's a real-time PCR test or rapid antigen test, before boarding to go to another island. So that's one of the parameters we've put in place to ensure that, to the extent possible, we always know that there's a possibility that you can have a test done and the viral load just isn't high enough yet for the test to detect it. But to the extent possible, those are some of the measures we are seeking to put in place through the new rules.
Family Islands have felt the brunt of restrictions imposed on New Providence, while their numbers were much lower in comparison. Dr. Charitable Moxie of the Ministry of Health says that won't happen this time around.
So again, we recognize that as we are different across the islands, we are also different in many other ways. And so we cannot treat the operations of restaurants the same on all islands. Some of those restrictions will be they could only for indoor operations. There's a limit on the number of persons that they can have inside. Again, you will have the requirement for being fully vaccinated or for producing a negative COVID-19 test. We cannot penalize all islands because we are seeing a national increase in COVID-19 cases. What the ministry now seeks to do is to delineate islands by high burden island or low burden island for COVID-19, and then through that process apply those high burden islands to the Schedule 2.
But there are rules nonetheless, as health officials take preemptive steps to keep the most vulnerable residents, many of them without significant health resources, safe. Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
The number of new COVID-19 cases is once again in the triple digits, with the Bahamas recording 159 new infections Thursday, up 19 from the 140 the day before. New Providence leads the way with 150 infections, 2 on Grand Bahama, 1 each on Abaco and Eleuthera, 3 on Exuma, and the locations is pending for 2 cases. Males account for 73 of the cases and females 86. Of the new cases, health officials say 42 have traveled in the past 14 days. 19 patients are hospitalized, 2 in the intensive care unit. 17 of them are moderately ill. The nation's total case count stands at 23,539, while 893 of those cases are active. The death toll remains at 713. Well, with the double-digit threat of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and the start of the flu season, health officials have made it possible for residents to get their flu shots and the COVID-19 vaccine at the same time. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Darrell, says residents have no need to fear adverse reactions from getting both shots with no time in between.
At our COVID centers, we will be administering flu vaccines as well. And so the Bahamian people don't have to be afraid that you can get the COVID vaccine at the same time as you get the flu vaccine. So it's an opportunity that when you go for your vaccination, you can actually get the flu vaccine, which is offered simultaneously at our center.
Well, vaccinations against COVID-19 are still encouraged, but with companies such as Pfizer and Merck working to launch COVID pills, another option being made available for the public. This week, Pfizer got the approval from the United States Food and Drug Administration for emergency use of its pill, while Merck is still awaiting its approval. However, some question whether the arrival of those therapeutics would discourage the COVID vaccine uptake, an issue addressed recently by Pan American Health Organization representative Dr. Eldana Basal.
What we have to understand is that
The vaccine and the therapeutics are used for different reasons. Vaccines are used to prevent severe illness and death. The therapeutics are used to treat people who have become severely ill, so that we don't have any therapeutics that you can use ahead of time to prevent. The therapeutics are to treat. And so they're important as well, because for persons who do become severely ill, we do want to have something that we can treat them with. But those are not going to prevent people from becoming.
And with the Omicron variant now one of concern, Dr. Basson said it's hard to pinpoint when this pandemic will be behind us.
Unfortunately, we have no idea, because while we have some countries who have a lot of vaccine available, we can't forget that vaccine equity is still a problem. We have countries who have less than 5% of persons vaccinated, right here in the Americas as well as globally. And once the virus is moving around, we can get new variants. And the variants come about because the virus is trying to make itself more efficient at surviving. Like us, the virus wants to survive. And so once we have transmission anywhere, there's a possibility of another variant. So it's impossible to say when this pandemic will be over.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
It is with joy that we embrace the 2021 Christmas season, as it ushers in good tidings on all levels. We are reminded of the immense love of God, who sent to the world the gift of the Christ child. And we are grateful for what we collectively, as stakeholders of our number one industry, have been able to accomplish in tourism recovery. The Bahamas is now fully reopened, with safety protocols being strictly observed. Visitors are eagerly making their way back to our shores in ever-increasing numbers. According to data from our forward booking numbers, we are poised for a robust winter season. Through a carefully planned recovery strategy, we've seen significant expansion in airlift from our key markets in the United States and the UK, and by extension, Europe. Cruising has returned to the Bahamas. On any given day, it's such a pleasure to see as many as 6 cruise ships berthed at the port of Nassau. Our group business is coming back on stream, and within the last few months, we have hosted an impressive lineup of sporting events and industry conferences, such as the 10th anniversary of Chico's, the 2021 Hero World Challenge at Albany, the White Sands Bahamas NCAA Invitational. Globally, our destination is recognized for its outstanding touristic offerings, having received numerous prestigious awards within the last year. To name a few, the Caribbean's leading luxury island destination for the 7th consecutive year, Best Caribbean Golf Destination, and Best Caribbean Meetings Destination, as voted by the Caribbean Journal Traveler's Choice Awards. I wish to commend Team Tourism for their hard work, particularly over the last 18 months that has been very difficult. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all of our partners for their loyal participation in assisting us to make it and keep it better in the Bahamas. And so as we move forward, upward, onward together, we are relying on your continued best effort to recover and even surpass our pre-pandemic visitor arrival numbers. I remain hopeful and optimistic about the year ahead. I'm Chester Cooper, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation. This is Tourism Today. Merry Christmas.
One-third of all traffic fatalities occur as a result of excessive speed. In the inner city, residential areas, and high pedestrian traffic areas, the speed limit ranges from 15 to 25 miles per hour. On the outskirts of the island, especially where a sign is not posted, The speed limit, 30 miles per hour. The maximum speed limit is 45 miles per hour. On behalf of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, please slow down.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Comfort,
Tradition,
celebration,
joy,
memories,
and love.
Don't miss the Shell Holiday Extravaganza for a chance to win over $40,000 in amazing prizes. It's easy to win. Fuel up with $20 gas at any Shell service station. Complete the entry form on your receipt. Take a picture of it and WhatsApp it to 422-0271 or upload it at winwithshellbahamas.com for a chance to win cash, staycations, grocery vouchers, jumbo gift certificates, free fuel, and so much more. Conditions apply. Happy holidays from Shell.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
It was the night before Christmas. In a sailboat with a rope but no tow, a girl found a magical starfish on the shores of Abaco. On Grand Bahama is where she landed, where she was led to a hibiscus enchanted. In Andros, under the moonlight, she found a golden pine cone that glowed so bright. On to Nassau, where the cool breeze blew. The brightest feather was given from practice for junk canoe. Onto the islands Exuma, Cat Island, Long Island, and Inagua. She traveled to every island, rock, and key, till it was time to come home and unlock the mystery that although each island is different, we are all one. So she fulfilled her dream to light up Christmas for everyone. Dream big this Christmas. We are alive.
Thanks for staying with us. The Consultant Physician Staff Association kept the elderly in mind this holiday season, making monetary donations to 2 elderly homes this week. CSPA President Dr. Sabrika Pinder-Butler and Vice President Dr. John Dillette presented checks to officials at both Unity House and the Burgess Rogers Home for the Aged. CSPA Secretary General Dr. Shakira Carroll says many charitable organizations have reported a drop in donations, so the association wanted to give back.
We have provided assistance before during times of need. So during Dorian, we provided assistance as well to persons in the community. So we're not strangers to charitable outreach, but this is the first time we've donated to the elderly. It's important to not only diversify our outreach, but also because the elderly is sometimes a forgotten population, we felt it important to reach out to them and provide some assistance.
5 residents at the Purchase Rogers Home for the Aged and 17 at Unity House will benefit from the CSPA's gift. Carol appealed to members of the wider public to consider lending a hand where they can.
We encourage our fellow corporate citizens to reach out to charitable organizations, elder care homes, children's homes, etc., to ensure that they have the support they need to take care of their residents and to do the charitable work that they do, especially given the country's economic situation at present, and especially during this holiday season. It's a season to be jolly and to give and to show love to persons in the community as best as possible.
Well, while physicians lend a hand, what happens when a nonprofit and a generous corporate citizen collide? Well, the answer is pure Christmas magic. Our Anthony Smith has more on how Lend a Hand Bahamas and FTX Trading went above and beyond to spread some holiday cheer.
Instead of a sleigh, a flatbed. Ditching the famous Alvin green and red, opting instead for blue. A different kind of spin on St. Nick's classic Christmas Day delivery. And at the reins is Lend a Hand Bahamas.
Like just the mere fact that we had the opportunity to go door to door, I feel very great.
With police escort, music, and the sack, or rather boxes full in tow, the Lend a Hand team took to the streets of Bain and Grantstown for a door-to-door gift giveaway.
This is something that's simple, and giving out toys is not always the most difficult thing to do, but it brings a lot of happiness, especially to the youth who have suffered as well, not being able to go full-time to school and really being out of their kind of normal environments.
The Christmas caravan starting off on Lewis Street, heading on to East Street and traveling 8 blocks beyond. To translate this into North Pole terminology, that's a square mile total of more than 500 families and 1,000 gifts given. An initiative made possible thanks to a partnership with newly Bahamas-based company FTX Trading.
And they came to us and just said, obviously saw the over-the-hill community as a really important area to support, especially during this difficult time. So they came to us with those 1,000 toys and really enabled and used our network and our kind of ability to disperse the items effectively and efficiently. And together, I thought it was really amazing to see just how quickly we worked and how many homes we impacted today.
Their efforts come after one of the hardest years yet. Still, their focus remains, especially this Christmas, on putting the community and the kids first.
We have been affected by COVID-19. Over 2 years now, we haven't been able to celebrate Christmas in the fashion that we normally do. And so it was an initiative to just go out into the community in which we serve, to tell how much we appreciate them standing by us even in the tough times and working along with us.
Antoine Smith, ZNS Network News.
With just hours to go before the big day, mixed views coming in from a number of businesses on the potential profits from shoppers this season. Our Lord Allen has more from vendors at the R.M. Bailey Park pop-up market.
For this holiday season, business is not good because of the pandemic. And prior to years before, business was excellent.
For a number of vendors stationed at the R.M. Bailey Park, seasonally, they remain hopeful going into the final hours before the big day. Speaking with vendors, opinions vary on sales from Christmas shoppers as the big day looms.
Wonderful with me. I basically sell all my bikes are gone and it ain't Christmas Eve yet.
We just started out about a week ago and everything was going slow to compare with last year. But I think as people began to come out, the business began to improve.
They also provided these details as to why.
It could be probably persons don't want to come out because of the COVID and the closeness of when you have to walk around on the park. Persons could be fearful of that.
COVID did not put much a challenge on the people coming out. Some might just come and browse because they just don't want to be home. They want to get out.
While challenging conditions ushered a new wave of vendors to the area over the past 2 years, some have been setting up shop for decades, like Lana Smith.
I am one of the first 4 members to start out here. We were the first 4. I'm part of the first 4. And so that's about almost 28 years. I started to come out here, and as you see, it grow and grow and grow.
But with literally hours to go before the big day, the opportunity to cash in on sales remains.
I look forward between today and tomorrow. I usually sell them.
Oh, my sales, I should be sold out by at least 3 p.m. I'm praying to God for that.
And despite a mega mall being right across the street, these vendors are satisfied that business will eventually pick up.
We all out here are Bahamians, struggling Bahamians. And we come out here to sell, and we would like our Bahamians to support us. Because in the end, we have to support them.
Our prices are much better, okay? But we have the same mechanics, goods. But the prices are better, and people love because they can come and they could negotiate prices.
And as for Christmas Day,
I still come so early Christmas morning because you have patrons that don't like the crowd, and so they'll come out early on Christmas morning. So I try to be here between 6:30, 7 o'clock.
This is the place for deals. This is the place where you come and you get good stuff, natural good stuff. You can go in the mall, check the quality of their stuff, come to the park, check the quality of our stuff, and you will see that the quality are the same.
Oh, that should be our busiest day. I should be seeing sales flying up higher than never yet before.
Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Also making news tonight, the new organization, GROW, the food lab, is seeking to change the way small food-oriented businesses operate. Along with collecting data, they say they will be the Bahamas' first FDA food facility where chefs, processors, farmers, and other players in the industry can collect, create, and connect.
So definitely this is going to contribute significantly to the wastage that we see now in our agricultural space. And so we're going to create value-added products from whatever farmers grow in excess. So our goal is to create a state-of-the-art facility that provides commercial-grade equipment, provides training, resources, and all the tools needed to grow businesses for entrepreneurs. So we're creating this comprehensive ecosystem from start to development for processors and farmers in this space.
And the organization has recently joined hands with Arawak X COO Kentisha Ward says they are in the process of joining efforts with more industry partners.
One of our biggest goals is being able to grow the capacity of processing here in the Bahamas so that we could change the way that people see food. So we want to be able to collaborate with the Ministry of Agriculture, with BAIC, with all other agricultural organizations, and even food organizations to be able to create a processing space that's conducive nationally. We just launched on the Arawak X platform in November, so we are actually in the crowdfunding stage, which is really exciting for us. So we've launched so that we could actually reach out to the Bahamian people to give Bahamians an opportunity to own their own portion of a Bahamian business and to own their own portion of food security and sustainability in the future.
As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all of our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
COVID-19 attacked our personal and national psyche. We fought back. We adjusted our consciousness so that we could wrap our minds around the impossible and unbelievable things we were going through. But guess what? Nobody escaped. That means there was nobody who was too pretty, too cute, too important, too holy, or too rich to escape the mental trauma and battering of COVID-19. We can allow COVID-19 to destroy us or defeat us, or we can make a decision right now to act in a manner that supports wellness for ourselves and for the nation. So let's act to restore and sustain our personal sense of well-being and our national mental health status. We're all involved. It's that important.
BTC spreading Christmas cheer to everybody whether far or near. Move to the rhythm of Christmas round.
Did you hear that? Is it Santa?
Bring home BTC Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle for only $99.99 with 157 channels and 150 megabits of speed per second, and your home will be blazing all year long. This Christmas, make it BTC. It's the better choice for you and me. Move to the rhythm of Christmas. Move to the rhythm of BTC.
New year, new time. Watch Conversations with Christ every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I'll tell you why. Because God said 1,000 years is like a day for me. And that's why you could have a thief on the cross pray for just a few seconds and get forever, and get forgiveness, and get eternity. So every single Sunday for 30 minutes, we're going to praise God together. So every Sunday at 10 a.m., Conversations with Christ.
Season savings start at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Mullis Ready Cut Macaroni, 16 ounce, $1.89. Cheddar cheese, $3.49 per pound. Panami Raw Shrimp, $31.40 1 pound, $7.99. Fresh celery, $1.99 each. Crisco oil, assorted, 32 ounce, $3.29. Plus a large variety of Butterball and Jennie-O turkeys, regular and picnic hams at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
On the island of Abaco, business seems to be picking up due to the festive season, which is a great sign for the island recovering from the ravages of 2019's Hurricane Dorian. Senior Deputy Family Island Administrator for North Abaco, Therese Budolang, is optimistic about that and what it brings.
We are happy to see bustling activities in Abaco, in particularly in the central Abaco Marsh Harbor area, but it's happening throughout Abaco. We have hotel properties that are running slow, in particularly in the Green Turkey district. And so we know that there are persons coming into Abaco who are not familiar with our roadway, as well as residents who tend to drive at high speeds, and so we're just asking residents to please be safe.
She also offered a word of caution, particularly as this is the holiday season and the island has seen its share of tragic accidents around this time.
We had a recent fatality on our highway, and that is one of our greatest concerns during the holidays, that people tend to let their guard down with caution. They're driving at high speeds, very bright lights at night, and also our roadway is not at tip-top shape following hurricane. There are a number of potholes. There's still street lights that needs to be installed, so there's some blind areas on our highways. So we're asking residents, even those persons who tend to drive and drink and use phone while driving, to please minimize those activities or designated driver, because we all want to be safe on the highway, and we all know that during the holiday seasons it is common in Abaco to have very tragic accidents, and we're hoping we can go through this season without any additional accident.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jimenita. Outside of our studios on this Christmas Eve evening, we are under mostly cloudy skies. Temperature at 77 degrees. The relative humidity 64%. We have east-northeast winds at 14 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,019.7 millibars. That's 30.11 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 73 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greentoe Key in Abaco. Marshall, Abaco at 72 degrees. The Berry Island 76, 75 in Alistown, Bimini, 76 also in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera 78, Alistown, Cadallo 78, 77s in Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Base, Landross, and Fresh Creek in Central Landross. San Salvador and Rum Key 78 degrees, 79 in Georgetown, Exuma, also Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Ackless, Matthewtown, Inago, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, all at 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwestern Islands tonight through Christmas Day, light and variable winds with flat seas, 1 to 3 feet. High tide will take place at 11:30 in the tonight, that is, and another high tide at 11:45 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands, through Saturday, northeast-east winds 12 to 18 knots, and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So caution flags remain in place through Saturday for the central and southeast Bahamas. And then on Sunday in the northwestern islands, once again, light and variable winds with flat seas. Low tide 6:27 in the morning. High tide will take place at 12:35 in the afternoon. In the central and southeast, those winds come down 10 to 15 knots out of the northeast-east, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. Going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
The Dixon Hill Lighthouse in San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down fake waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In our replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
It's a part of all of our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone. ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
During the first ever choreograph competition on Bay Street, when they introduced choreography as a competition, one family, one do street.
Who them girls then?
Them girls are very dynamic. They're very powerful. Nobody touches them. Nobody.
This portion of the news brought to you by Genuine Care, keeping you home while you're away. This is ZNS Total Sports.
Tennis news, top sports tonight. Yesterday, we told you about Sydney Clark winning the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association's National Women's title. Tonight, we have the men's title winner. The honor goes to Spencer Newman. Newman defeated veteran Marvin Rule in straight sets 6-3 and 3 on Thursday. The match that took a little over an hour was controlled by Newman's strong service game and powerful forehand. As the Giorgio Baladaki men's champion, Spencer automatically qualifies for the Davis Cup and Billie Jean King Cup regional events in 2022. The Nationals were held at the National Tennis Center at the QE Sports Center. From the tennis courts of New Providence to the basketball courts of OKC, DeAndre Ayton's double-double of 19 points and 12 rebounds assisted the Phoenix Suns to defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder 113-101 on the road last night. Leading their offensive attack was guard Devin Booker with 30 points. The team scored 68 points in the second half of a 48.5% shooting performance from the field on the night. Winners of 6 of their last 7 games, the Suns lead the Western Conference with the season's best record of 25-5, 1 game ahead of the Golden State Warriors at 25-6.
And finally, to the NFL, Bahamian Mike Strawn's Indianapolis Colts will not have Christmas Day off as they hit the road to take on the Arizona Cardinals tomorrow. The Colts are hoping to continue winning as they make a push for the playoffs. On the other hand, the Cardinals are hoping to end a 3-game losing streak. Game time is tomorrow at 8:15. And that's all the time we have for sports. Our final look at weather is next.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
New year, new time. Watch Conversations with Christ every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I'll tell you why. Because I recently had someone ask me, they said, Daniel, how do I explain unemployment to my kids? How do I explain that I'm not working and we on welfare, we on government assistance? How do I explain that to my children? And the only thing I could tell them is one word, and that's temporary. Everything is temporary. Because see, when you walk by faith and not by sight, what you understand is that even though you don't see things changing, you don't have to see it, you just know that it's happening. And then he said, but it's been over 2 years. I haven't worked. So how do you explain temporary? And that's when I had to let him know that, hey, to God, one day is like 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is like one day. So don't compare today to forever. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So 10 a.m. Conversations with Christ every Sunday.
Our marine resources were once considered inexhaustible. Conch and reef fish like grouper were abundant everywhere, and it seemed as if the lobster catch would rise forever. But today, there is a downward trend that affects everyone. Researchers say we can reverse the trend by protecting more marine habitats. And the good news is that most Bahamians strongly support efforts to halt further decline. Tripling the size of our network of marine parks will mean more fish and conch for everyone now and for the future, as well as more recreational and ecotourism opportunities. Today, only 10% of our waters are protected. Surveys show that most Bahamians consider protection of our marine environment to be a top national priority. More protection means more benefits for everyone, now and in the future. It's a win-win-win strategy for the economy, for Bahamians, and for nature. Protect our sea, protect our way of life, protect the Bahamas. See the future. Visit Bahamas Protected on Facebook to learn more about marine protected areas.
Your mission is intact. Yes, Mom! Agent 1, what is a touch? Physical contact, Mom. Agent 2, what is a good touch? Touches that make you feel alright, Mom. Such as? A high five, a handshake, even a kiss, Mom. Good. Now, Agent 3, what is a bad touch? Touches that make you feel not so good, Mom. Like a slap, a kick, a pinch, and most important, if someone touches your private part. And what do we do when someone gives us a bad touch? You tell a trusted adult, Mom. For help, Mom. Tell them, don't do that, Mom. Agent, I see that you understand. Now it's your mission to spread this information. Just remember that good touches are okay. And bad touches are not okay. So, Agent, go spread the word. Yes, Mom.
Andros is the #1 bone fishing destination on our planet. Sports fishermen visit our flats every year to participate in one of the most fulfilling outdoor activities known to man, fly fishing. And guess what? It's 100% sustainable. Without areas like the west side of Andros, sustaining this industry would be absolutely impossible. So let's take care of nature and nature will take care of us.
Time now for weather. In our final look at weather, that cold front, which brought the nice cool temperatures, has exited the southeast Bahamas, leaving behind an area of high pressure, which will continue to support mild nights and mostly sunny days over the next several days, taking us right through the holiday weekend. Tonight, though, we're going in for partly cloudy and cool conditions. Good weather for Santa, by the way, 69 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny, very nice, 79 for your high. The extended weather forecast, the sunny days will continue right through the holiday weekend, and those temperatures pretty nice during the nighttime, keeping us into the 60s during the nighttime. We'll start to get a slight warming trend beginning on Monday of next week. Jimenita.
Thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And as we celebrate our 44th year of television broadcasting, it feels great to be your home. From all of us here at ZNS, we wish you a wonderful holiday weekend. Thank you for watching, and good night.